All right, so I start my morning with my shake and my vitamins. I will typically wake up before the family. My goal has been 5 a.m., which I was doing really well at the apartment. It's a lot different on the bus just because you can trick yourself in the apartment with using lights and everything. But man, 5 a.m. is dark. So I typically have been waking up at 6 a.m. instead, and I'll do my reading and journaling. If you're changing up your routine in any way, I really recommend using a journal. That's because changing your routine is hard. Just like waking up at 5 a.m. is very difficult. It's not what I want to do. But because I looked at my journal after a few weeks of doing it, I was like, dang, I have all of my good days when I wake up early. I have my bad days when, that day I didn't wake up early. So it really helps you figure out if it's even worth it, because you don't want to stress yourself out doing some type of daily routine that doesn't even give you any type of benefit. So that's kind of my solo routine. The rest of the day is all involved with the family, but it is nice to kind of have some alone time before everything starts. So Lincoln, our 6-year-old, actually recommended that the family wake up early to work out together. We were letting them just sleep in and wake up when they wake up, but since Lincoln wanted to work out as a family, we now wake them up at 7 a.m. and we will do a morning stretch, a run, and then either 3 sets of jumping jacks and push-ups or 3 sets of jumping jacks and squats. After our sets of jumping jacks and push-ups, Nick and Lincoln did some sword fighting in the woods while me and Kinsey headed into the bus.
Good. Oh, and Daddy took us because I won swinging. Boom.
You won the sword fight?
Yeah, with one swing.
Man, strong, dude.
That's the point where you're about to give it all up. And that's when you always appear on the scene. Not always in this way, but I always appear in one form or another. Sometimes I appear in the form of a solution or a good idea. At other times, at a crucial moment.
So we started listening to audiobooks after our workout. We're listening to The Alchemist right now, and we will either color like we did today or do a puzzle. Nick will do the puzzle or coloring with them while I get breakfast together. It's the same breakfast every single day. Kinsey will have a bowl of cucumbers, Lincoln will have a bowl of apples, and then me and Nick will have typically avocado sandwiches, but I think today we had yogurt. So after the morning activity, we'll go ahead and start school, and homeschooling is definitely the hardest thing that I've ever undertaken in my life, but I have finally gotten into the routine after months, probably years of research and figuring out different systems. It's really hard. I can't imagine how people who were thrown into homeschooling after the virus felt. A lot of people did really well with it, and a lot of people struggled for good reason. You go to school to teach kids. It's a whole thing. But yeah, the kids are reading and writing now, and it's obviously the most ideal thing for being on the bus. Yep.
Good. I don't remember what this word says.
No, you said the first letter.
It's at gas.
Okay, so what's the whole sentence?
The bus God has gas. The bus has gas.
Good job. Woohoo!
Cat.
Good job.
The top has a hat.
Woo!
Oh. Stop. Stop
Yeah, good job.
the bus.
Stop the bus. Good job.
Mama Rock is so fast. What time was it? 2.
So the issue of toys we solved by giving the kids both 2 or 1 medium-sized Tupperware each, and they had to put the toys that they wanted to keep in there, and then we just put those 2 Tupperwares into a large one that we keep under the bus. So after school they'll have playtime, and that pretty much will set the tone for the rest of the day, because for the most part they will sit and play for about an hour and a half. Sometimes it's shorter, which we just kind of make up the time, but we'll pretty much let them play until lunchtime. While they're playing in the bus, I am usually cleaning or working on a project or making a YouTube video. But this day I was actually just doing the dishes, and it was gorgeous outside, so it was pretty cool. And so after that, it's lunchtime already. So in our kitchen tour video, I mentioned that we can't use our stove until we create a vent hood and get to the land. So this has been a lifesaver. It's just a skillet that you plug in and it works exactly the same. Bag of chips, all that in a bag of chips. So this is really cool. The sink is like massive, but it still fits the cutting board across. So technically, have even more counter space. We were letting the fries sit there. What the heck? Where did that come from? Anyway. So Kinsey had the chips and guac, and Lincoln requested some PB&Js. So after lunch, the kids will go ahead and play video games or watch a movie and take a nap afterwards. This is pretty intentional because during this time it's usually the hottest of the day, so we want them to be inside as much as possible. Once they wake up from their nap, we'll play outside, or we'll go into town, which going into town sounds really funny, but it's true. It's about 20 minutes to the nearest grocery store or really anything. So we'll do that, and that's pretty much our day. If we're doing something like going to the river or doing an activity, then instead of the nap, we'll head out to do that thing. I hope you all like this video. We are actually headed out tomorrow to Tennessee to go to our land finally. So Thursday's video might just be a activity that we did here in Texas while we get settled in Tennessee. But definitely next week I'll have a video of our land.